I think the viewers will be glad I'm wearing pants this time. I noticed my shorts were riding up pretty high the last episode. I was even like, is that my underwear?
Maybe that's why we got so many views, though.
Yeah.
In this one, we're going to be talking about Final Destination, Bloodlines, and I've always been a fan of the series. I'm not a huge horror fan, but those were the first movies that I watched and just liked right away, just on TV as a kid. I feel like the slasher movies would kind of scare me for whatever reason growing up. Like Jason, Freddy, those guys creeped me out growing up. But these movies just always were fun for some reason.
See, that's crazy to me because I never wanted to watch them. The only reason I watched slasher movies is because I knew that there was a hint or a possibility that there was going to be boobies in it. I was like, okay, all right. You lose me on the slasher stuff, but, prepubescent me was like, I'll take a shot if I'm going to see boobs.
Yeah, well, there is boobs in Final Destination too. I've been rewatching them lately.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay.
Final Destination, you've piqued my interest once again.
But I thought this would be fun to talk to you about because you haven't seen any of them, have you?
No, the thing is, the previews, and they were so prevalent growing up that I'm sure I've seen parts of some.
You have to know about the log truck.
Not to know about the log truck. Mm-hmm. Which, ironically, today, after I watched the movie, a log truck was in front of me the whole way.
Oh, boy.
I took a picture of it, too.
Yeah.
I was like, this is impossible.
Mm-hmm. I saw something where promoting this movie, they had a banner on the back of a log truck. And I was like, that's 10
Great
out
marketing.
of 10. They crushed it.
I don't think that I've ever seen a log truck and not thought about that scene.
I mean, that's what's so powerful about these movies. It really does change the way you look at certain things like that. Some of them, you're like, okay, that's silly. That could never happen. Like in this movie, the MRI machine. I'm not I'm going to be terrified of MRI. But I guarantee next time I'm around one, I'm going to be looking at a wheelchair. I'll be looking behind me I'm not standing in front of that thing. So I thought we'd do something new. We're still kind of figuring out these reviews, but I thought it'd be fun if we tried to guess each other's where we'd rank our enjoyment of the movie. I know I enjoyed the movie, but we're out of 10. Where do you think I would stand?
Interesting. Okay, I would say you would give it a 6.
I'd actually give it, I think, more of a 7.
You just want me to be wrong.
No. I just thought I was impressed. I liked this one a lot. As the series went on, they got a little worse over time. 1 and 2 are probably the best, but this one is probably on the level of 1 and 2. So I would say maybe 7. I'd say 7.5. The ending definitely drug it down for me, but that's kind of a lot of Final Destination. They're not known for having incredible endings. It's just more about fun kills.
You only watched it and you had to leave early the first time.
I watched it and I had something come up. I had to leave the theaters. I watched it up until the MRI scene and I was like, that's probably the best kill of the movie. And I was like, I'm just going to pack it up. I can figure out how this movie ends. I went home and Googled it and it pretty much did exactly what I thought it would do, which, not to get into spoilers right now, but their third acts are very similar throughout the franchise. And I was like, I bet this isn't going to be as exciting. And then when I went yesterday and rewatched it, because you were like, hey, I'm going to watch it, we can do a pod on it. And I was like, great. I went and rewatched it. I would have told you I probably had an 8 out of 10 in enjoyment until the MRI scene. And then the ending drug it down to about a 7.
I almost texted you and was like, hey, don't worry about going and seeing the last 20 minutes, because that's where the movie falls apart for me.
The only part I was glad that I stayed there for to see it was when they're walking down the street and the log truck almost hits them.
Yeah.
It's like a cameo. It was like a little Easter egg. We know.
Oh, shit!
Remember him?
Yeah. She was like, you need to drive. What do you think my enjoyment of it was?
Well, that's trickier because I know you don't necessarily love horror movies, and I can see this movie giving you a lot of anxiety. I could see you being anywhere from a 3 to a 6 probably, and I would probably say 3 to 7. But the fact you thought I was a 6, I think I would say you're somewhere 3 to 6.
Here's where I'm going to shock you. From a movie standpoint, I'm a 6. From my enjoyment in the theaters where I watched it with, I would say, 90% black people, 8. Dude, okay. The comments were incredible.
Dude, I'm so jealous.
Oh, my God. Dude. People just being like, oh, hell no. Hell no. Oh, my God. This is the funniest thing. I was sitting there when they're talking about if you kill someone, you take their life, but you don't know how long they're going to live. and they're looking at the babies.
Yeah,
dude,
we're in spoilers now. Yeah, go ahead.
Oops. It might be a spoiler, but from a standpoint, this spoils nothing for you because this is so enjoyable.
Yeah,
they're talking about the babies, and the guy goes, "Yeah, stay away from the babies." And this black dude, literally 2 seats next to me, goes, "Yeah, P. Diddy."
Oh.
And like everyone around it just started cracking up.
People are like high-fiving them.
It really was like, I was just like, damn, dude, this commentary is off the charts good.
I'm jealous because but it was fun though. The first time I saw it, there weren't that many people in the theaters. And actually kind of funny, I saw it and I was kind of distracted because I thought someone behind me, one row, it was like me and 2 people in the theater the first time I saw it. And I swore the person was getting a hand job. I just kept hearing like, and I was just sitting there like,
a good OTPHJ.
Plot twist though, I got up and I looked like while I was getting up to go to the bathroom, like the theater's lit up, so I looked back, 2 dudes sitting behind me.
Oh.
So not ruling it out, but I was.
They can also give hand jobs.
I know.
Probably better.
I know. Those guys really know what they're doing back there. Yesterday when I went and rewatched it, I went and I didn't realize during Memorial Day it was theater
big movie
packed.
day.
I walked in like 40 minutes late to the movie, so I was like, okay, I want to get in the theater right now. And there was a line, there's 50 people there. I was like, I've already paid for this movie. I'm just sneaking in. But I wound up walking into every single movie just because they don't tell you what theater the movie's playing in anymore. You have to buy a ticket to get that information.
Oh, really?
It was just kind of a funny experience. So like opening the door and being like, no, this is definitely
Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, it was. It was 3D. I was like, yeah, that's Lilo. Like, wait a second, is Lilo in this one?
Where would you rank the deaths in terms of like your most enjoyable or humorous?
The garbage truck scene was really good. It was fun, and then seeing her just get thrown, and especially
the soccer ball to the face was incredible.
Yeah, the soccer ball to the face. I mean, she calls it, "Oh no, like that's gonna kill me."
The lawnmower death was so funny.
That was funny.
Me.
I loved that whole set piece. Like the glass.
Yeah.
Like that made me so nervous.
It really did.
For some reason, I think the most nervous I felt in the movie was just the rake being under the trampoline. For some reason, I was just like, oh God, I don't want to see this.
I hate foot stuff. And I was like, oh God, dude, he's going to step on that rake and it's going to like, and then he steps on the glass, which I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
And I was just like, mother. I mean, you do once it falls on the ground, but
even when he's like drinking the glass,
dude,
like he's chewing the ice and you kind of see him like, you're like, oh my God, this is going to be awful.
That was the most satisfying death because I was just like, death by lawnmower. And all the girls immediately just be like, ah! Mm-hmm. It was just like they're screaming, made it so funny to me.
Yeah, no, that was a good scene. I mean, I thought the MRI scene was awesome. I thought that was really, I thought it was really funny too, just the character when he picks the, okay, we'll give you the peanuts. He's like, I'm not going out on these unsalted bitches.
He did the right.
Give me the Reese's cup.
I laughed in that moment thinking about you being like gluten and dairy. Being like, all right,
yeah, like come on.
All right, I'm gonna try the most gluten.
No, I definitely liked that part. And like you said, the baby scene, that's so funny. I thought the turtle was gonna come into play because they talk about like this turtle
the whole time.
He lives 100 years. That's his lifespan. I thought it was going to be like, well, let's try to murder the turtle. Maybe that's a loophole.
I'll take his life.
Yeah.
No, I didn't think about that.
I don't think it works like that, but it would be funny if they tried it out anyway.
I really thought the opening scene was incredible from a standpoint of just like the glass breaking, everything that was happening.
That's what I think the movies do the best on, and like almost tapping into a real fear people have.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Even if it's illogical, but like even that, like I've seen videos of people at like Chicago or whatever where they're above the glass.
Yeah,
and I'm always
the Sears
like,
Tower.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I would. If I did it, it would. And I've been on something like that where I did it for like a second. Like I put a foot on, looked over, went, all right, cool. But I would not be dancing to shout on that glass. I'm way too paranoid for that stuff. And then this movie like capitalizes on that.
If we got there and they're like, oh, we're going to go up there and eat, I'd just be like, nah, I'm good. Like, it's not, let's go to somewhere else. I don't like heights. Mm-hmm. So I'm immediately like, when he's even like, let's get some fresh air, I was like, oh, they're leaving. And then it's like, no, you went even higher? That's crazy to me. And the little boy, throwing I thought he was hilarious though. Like he was such a good little brat.
Oh yeah, like especially when the staircase collapsed and he's just like, yeah. He's not even just like, oh, sucks. He's
Like,
face.
I'm surprised he didn't
You're
go,
gonna die. Oh yeah, I loved that kid getting smashed by a piano.
Oh,
One,
dude,
for
that
them
was-
to have the balls to just kill a kid, I was like, crazy. Everyone in my theater, that at least that one, everyone was like, oh
Hell yeah.
yeah.
You said the MRI was your favorite death?
I think the favorite death scene, but I did like the set. I did like the set piece of them in the yard. I just thought there was something really cool about that. I like the build up to that one. I didn't love. It was so over the top where I was like, this could never happen. You know, like I wasn't scared of a lawnmower. I was just laughing at that one.
I was
the
dying.
MRI. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, MRI was more like, oh god.
Mm-hmm. And the thing coming back out of the candy machine and hitting him in the head.
And rotating
Yeah.
too. And then the second death, the tattoo shop, I immediately was like, lame, because it like pans away. And I was sitting there like, that's so lame. And then like, then he's alive. I literally wrote down the note like, tattoo scene, super lame. And then like the car hits him and I'm like, okay, well good. You know, I get to see this guy die in a more satisfying way.
Yeah, that scene's so good when he's like listening to like hardcore music. He just goes, Eric's sad playlist. I was like, I'm immediately making a Reed sad playlist. Like, that's so
I have
funny.
one. It's called my rainy day playlist.
You gotta change that title, bro.
I thought though the ending was so dumb. Oh, we got to get to this house as it's the only. It's like what they've never even said in any point in time in the movie what makes that place safe. Other than that she lived there for a long time and fortified it. But the way she fortified it made it seem like it was a whole death trap in and of itself.
The thing is, in these movies, it's like, no matter what you do, it's death is coming. So,
Yeah.
Because even when I'm watching that, like, I got irritated just because she's like, oh, I see these signals. Death is here. Time to ram through these gates at full speed. And like, in my mind, I'm like, you know, but you also have to take in mind that like this woman has not been sleeping. Like, she's a little deranged.
I will say I love the twist because I was like, oh, I brought you back to life. And I was just like, that's so lame. And then them dying at the very end, just so like boom, boom, movie over.
Yeah.
Log just smashes both of them. I was like, bravo. Like, I loved that they died.
It's
It was-
fun
I had
that
a
you
good
like
time.
that based off just because you haven't seen it. And I think the first time I saw that ending in like Final Destination 2 or whatever, I was like, that's awesome. But they've just done that ending now like 3 or 4 times where I'm kind of like, yeah, all right. This movie oddly made me think of Star Wars A New Hope 2 different times. Can you guess which times?
When the kid finds out that his dad wasn't his dad.
I wasn't gonna say that. That's like I love that too. Is that why he's always trying to play catch with me? Like that character just had so many good lines, and even the nut check stuff. Like I was like, oh man, that's good.
Yeah.
A lot of puns with that guy. A lot of nut puns. But no, the scene where the first thing that made me think of it is when the old grandma was just like, believing is seeing, and steps out. I was like, oh, she's totally Obi-Wan Kenobi sacrificing herself.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Just
that
to like
makes
keep
sense.
them on the path, I guess. Then the garbage compact scene. And it was more
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that especially the garbage compact scene. I was just already thinking about it. I was like, holy shit, another Star Wars thing.
Also, what a terrible way to find out your mother had an affair.
Yeah, that was great. Like I've never seen that. Like this movie was just a lot funnier than all the other Final Destinations. Like I think it's a
I thought
good
it was very
one.
funny.
Yeah, like I think if you now go back and rewatch them, they're all fun and there's funny moments. But like this one, it just felt like the tone was just way funnier and not over the top either. It still kept the horror stuff. I don't know. They just had a good balance. But if you rewatch the series, you might be like, I kind of miss how funny this other one was. Do you have any more words or anything? Can you speak anymore?
I can talk. I mean, that's kind of it for me. What I thought was going to happen is when he was trying to like cut her out with the seatbelt when the car
Yeah.
I thought he was going to stab her, accidentally killing her.
Yeah.
And that he was going to live because he killed someone. But then I was also like, if you kill someone that's destined to die, like,
Yeah.
you probably are still going to die.
Yeah, because they don't have much time left.
Exactly.
So it'd be like, oh, I just gave myself a minute
Another
or 2
or 3 minutes. Yeah. So I was like, I was just sitting there trying to process all that. And I didn't really fully understand a lot of
in
that
the-
kind of stuff anyway.
Well, in the 5th one, And there's a guy that death's coming after him, and he shoves someone that gets killed. And so he gets his time left. And then, like, at the end of the movie, it's pretty funny. He's just like, he's at the guy's, like, funeral or something, or they're at a bar afterwards. And someone comes up to him, and he's just like, yeah, I can't believe that happened. He's like, yeah, well, maybe it was a good thing. You know, that guy, he had a tumor the size of a baseball in his head. Like, he only had, like, days. Like, any day he would have died. And the guy's like, huh, okay. And then just, like, a plane crashes, like, right on top of him. So there's fun things like that.
It kind of makes me think Death has a sense of humor, which I like.
Death has comedic timing, like a lot of misdirections.
I'm gonna live as long as I.
Yeah, I was about to. I'm glad you said that, because that was gonna be my final note. Like, I didn't love how she died, because it was just like, I wish I could have seen it more. So it wasn't very creative, but it was also hilarious.
The comedic timing of it was great.
I'm gonna try to live as long as.
Don't worry.
I definitely laughed during that.
I did too. It was just another one. It was like, all right, bravo. But
right.
it did feel like it was kind of empty though.
Yeah. It was just kind of like, all right, next. We got 2 more. Move on to the next.
We got to kill more people.
We're good. Yeah, we're running out of budget here, folks. We got a whole train wreck we got to save money for.